I'm Key, and this is keyKEYadventures. Let's get right into it today. Why is nobody talking about the Wyndham Earner business credit card? I'm going to talk about my application experiences with Barclays Bank and getting this card, as well as some of the benefits that come along this card that I don't think people are talking about. As well, I'll round it out with my personal favorite Wyndham property that I've ever stayed at. Starting things off with the application process. Based on what I've read on some of my favorite blogs as well as forums, this card seemed like it was going to be difficult to get. Folks made it sound like I was going to need to send a blood sample over to Barclays in order to get approved for this card. I want to completely debunk this with my personal experience. Personally, I applied for this card online. It was very straightforward. I was able to answer the questions on the application with no problem. The one key tip that I want to recommend is make sure you sign up for a Wyndham account, which is free to do, before you start the application. There is going to be a spot to enter your Wyndham Rewards account number on your application, and they actually print it on the bottom of your card once you're approved. If you didn't have a Wyndham Rewards account number, they would go ahead and automatically assign you one, but honestly, I think you should have accounts with all of the major hotel brands. As far as the specifics of my application, I did apply using my social security number, my income from my W-2 job, as well as my first and last name. Like you, I always get a little bit of nerves and anxiety right before I click the submit button, and this time was no different. Once I went ahead and clicked that submit button, it was almost instantaneously that I got the automated email from Barclays saying they needed more time to process my application. For me, I don't take this as a bad sign. I always just kind of wait it out. At 3:49 p.m., Barclays Bank called my cell phone, which is the same number I listed as my business account number on my application. On the call, I spoke to a woman who identified herself as Barclays. I think she said fraud security or something like that. And basically, she asked me for my name, as well as provide my birth date and reconfirm my social security number and income that I had stated on my application. She asked me a couple of other questions about how long I'd been employed at my current employer. Basically, the application process kind of all over again, just verbally, in my opinion. And that call lasted for 4 whole minutes. By the end of the call, she gave me the good news that I had been approved for the Wyndham Business Earner credit card. So I didn't have to fax anything. I didn't have to send any additional documentation. I would like to say this is my first Barclays business card, so I'm wondering if I do apply for maybe a JetBlue business card or something else in the future, if I'll have to do that process again, or if me making on-time payments will somehow build a relationship with Barclays. I received a credit limit of $2,500, which to me is perfectly fine. To receive the sign-up bonus of 45,000 Wyndham Earner points, I actually will need to spend $3,000 in 90 days. They actually sent me limit that's in the mail, so I'm just going to read right from it just so I don't make any mistakes here. So for the $95 annual fee every single year with this card, you'll actually have the ability to add employees or authorized user cards at no additional charge. This is important because when you're talking with American Express and sometimes some other banks, they actually will charge you to add your employees or add authorized user cards. And in this case, there's no fee to do so. Additionally, just for having the card every single year and paying that fee, I'll actually receive 15,000 bonus points, which I'll talk a little bit more on how you can redeem points in just a couple of minutes. Earnings on this card, right? So every time you spend here, you'll receive 8 points per dollar spent at both Wyndham properties and at gas stations. You'll get 5 points per dollar spent on marketing expenses, advertising, as well as utility bills, which is pretty cool. And then you'll just get the normal 1 point per dollar on all other purchases. This card also does have some other benefits, such as protecting your cell phone if it's lost, stolen, or damaged. You will have to pay a $50 deductible, yet extended warranty protection as well. Additionally, this card comes with top Wyndham status. This makes it, in my mind, the business version of the Hilton Aspire card, but cheaper. You'll actually be able to use the Wyndham Diamond status to turn into Caesars Diamond status. Every single year when you have Caesars Diamond status, you'll automatically receive a $100 celebratory dinner to spend in Las Vegas or Atlantic City. First thing I'll mention on Caesars Diamond status is that you can actually do your own research and find ways to match this to other casino loyalty programs. With that, you'll definitely find out that there's ways to get free or very discounted cruises, additional levels of status, maybe some other dining credits at other types of properties and hotel programs, as well as just some free gambling money as well. Now, I do want to talk about using the Wyndham Rewards program just for a little bit here. Now, I mentioned every single year on your anniversary, you will receive 15,000 Wyndham points. This is honestly better than receiving a free night certificate because the Wyndham Rewards chart is one that's very easy to comprehend. Every single night, regardless of the cost or regardless if the Super Bowl is in town, rewards nights with Wyndham start at 7,500 points and they max out at 30,000 points per night. So, with the 15,000 point anniversary bonus that you receive, you can actually spend 2 nights at one of those lower properties or 1 night of your choosing at the mid-tier points property cost. Unlike other hotel cards, such as the Hilton Aspire or other credit cards, there's some limitations on how you can use those free night certificates. With Wyndham, you're getting points. So let's say you're not traveling in 2024, but maybe you will in 2025. Those 15,000 anniversary points are actually going to stay in your account, and you can kind of compound those year over year until you're ready to use them. Personally, what I like about the Wyndham program is they actually have the second most number of properties in the world. This means probably anywhere you're going, there'll be a Wyndham hotel for you to lay your head down at night. Like I mentioned, no matter the cash price, the points are always going to stay the same. If you were to book their lowest tier property at 7,500 points, there's actually 1,881 different properties for you to select. 1,000 points per night definitely seems to be the sweet spot. 5,995 different properties that cost 15,000 points per night. If you want to stay at some of their more luxury properties, there are 563 properties that cost 30,000 points per night in the Wyndham program. If you personally don't like staying at Wyndham properties, you actually have two other options to use your points. Option number 1 would be move your Wyndham points from Wyndham over to Caesars, where they'll turn into loyalty points, and you can get free play at the casinos. Option 2, which is probably more common, is actually to book Vacasa vacation rentals with your Wyndham points. This Vacasa program is very similar to VRBO or Airbnb. We're able to rent out full houses or condos and things like that versus a single hotel room. My favorite property that I've stayed at was a property in Thailand called the Wyndham Grand Phuket Kalam Bay. It was awesome. My room was massive and it actually had a swimming pool in it as well. In summary, the Wyndham Business Earner credit card should actually take the title of the best hotel card for business owners. And if it was a personal version, it would definitely compete with the Hilton Aspire credit card. This card definitely will make my Hotel Keeper credit cards list. Now, go ahead and drop a coconut emoji if you made it to the end of this video. And also, let me know down in the comments what your favorite Wyndham property has been. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.